Okay. So today, what we are going to discuss here is so the one important concept which is called as dynamic object and where keywords. Dynamic object and where keywords. We know object keyword, right? So
Yes, object keyword.
we have already seen couple of example with this object. So which is a base for all kind of data types. So if I declare one object type which can hold any data type values. Okay.
Yes.
Similarly, we do have two more keywords which can specifically used for this kind of purpose. So we have a where keyword, so which can store any data type values. Okay, we have a dynamic keyword which can be stored any data type value. Okay,
Yes.
so like that we have two more keywords available in C Sharp, which are where and dynamic. So we already familiar with the object keyword. Now we need to understand what is the where keyword and what is the dynamic keyword, right? So here we have mentioned that where keyword got introduced in C Sharp version 3.0 and dynamic was introduced in C Sharp version 4.0 here. Okay, so this is one, and let me technically show you an example so that you can understand what is the use of this where and what is the use of this object and what is the use of this what is the use of this dynamic as well. So sorry, control Z. Okay, okay. So here the thing is we can declare object value one, and I'm same thing. I'm declaring the where value two as 9 and dynamic value 3. Okay, so the problem, let's see how we can work with okay, here we do have increment function. See, yeah, got it. Okay, so okay, so see here the so the intention for this example is so to explain the concept of object keyword, and they explain the concept of where keyword, and they explain the concept of dynamic keyword. So if you see here, I'm declaring object keyword with the value. So that's my variable name. I just gave it as a value one. Okay, and where value two I just assigned to the 9. Okay, and the dynamic value 3. I just create three variable. One is val1 which is type of object, and another one is val2 which is type of where, and other variable is val3 which is a type of dynamic. Variable 1, variable 2, variable 3 I have declared, each of variable having the different data types here. So variable 1 having the object data type, variable 2 having the object data type, variable 3 having the dynamic data type. So in terms of uses, we can see how it can be helpful here. So val1 here, which is type of object. So here it is not giving any error even though we are not initializing the any value for that. So basically if you see object val1, I didn't assign any kind of value 10 or 20 like this. Even though if you haven't specified the default value for your object variable, it is fine. It will not giving any kind of error here. But in case of where what will happen is while declaration itself, you need to assign one value to your variable. Okay. same like if dynamic it's our wish. If we want to give the value to our variable, we can able to give it. If we are not interested to provide the value to our dynamic variable at the time of declaration, that's fine. We can give it like, we can just leave it like that, and the later point of time we can assign the values. Okay.
Okay.
So but it's not the case for the var. Okay, so what is the here while working with the var data type, while declaration itself, you need to provide the value for your variable, then only it will work.
Yeah.
Got it? Got it?
Yeah. For where we need to declare the
You
variable
need to
value at that moment.
assign the value
Assign and
while declaring the variable itself. Okay.
okay.
Here
Yeah,
I'm
that's for all.
yeah, here I'm giving the differences between the object data type, var data type, and dynamic data type. So here first point I have written that object was introduced from the basic version of C# which is 1.0 itself. Okay, and later point of time var got introduced in the version of 3.0, and again dynamic was introduced in the version of 4.0. That is the first difference of this var object and dynamic. Second difference I am trying to explain to you. So when we coming to the when we come to the second point here, so here we can classify this as a declaration. So variable declaration with object, variable declaration with var, and variable declaration with dynamic. So if I take the variable declaration with object, it's our wish. We want to, if we want to provide the default value while declaration itself, we can provide that. Or later point of time in our program, we can assign the value. So that is okay when we work with the object data type. Okay, but if you take the var data type, we have to provide the default value in the time of declaration of that var data type. So otherwise it will give the it will give the error like this: implicit type local variable must be initialized. That means while declaration itself we need to provide the value for our variable. Okay, so that is the another second difference. But dynamic, it's our wish. If you want to provide the default value, we can provide that, or later point of time also we can provide the value to our dynamic data type. Okay, so here other difference for this object var and dynamic is like this. So other difference what we can see is so IntelliSense support for our IntelliSense support for our variables. IntelliSense support for our variables. So what does it mean is if I take the var data type or dynamic data type or object data type, so the best like if I want to work with the if I want to take some advantage from the Visual Studio to work smoothly with my programming, then the best way is we can declare the var data type, and here it can provide the list of options here. As it is the val5 is belongs to the character data type, it is providing all kind of IntelliSense support. Okay, Muzaffar.
Then ma'am, listening. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, first we have seen this difference. Second, in declaration part, we have seen the other difference, and third one is this one. Okay. So here, what I'm trying to say is, if I take the object data type, I may not get the any kind of IntelliSense support here. So did I get any kind of IntelliSense support for my object variable here? No. So because
No.
even though it has a value, it is not displaying anything here. But if we see, if I type the 5, I can see the much methods here. I can see the more methods compared to the particular object data type.
Object.
Okay.
Yes.
So what we can say here is if I use the where keyword in our programming, if I have done any kind of mistake in compile time itself, it provides the error. In compile time itself, it provides the error. But if I take the dynamic keyword or object keyword, at the time of runtime only, it can evaluate that error and it will provide the error to the end user. Okay, so that is the another difference. So third difference, that is the another difference here. So fourth difference, what we can, what I have mentioned here is object type can pass a method argument and method also can return the object type. Means we have seen one example saying that we have before while explaining the concept of this generic methods, I provide one example by passing the object data type. Okay, so we
Yes.
can pass the object data type to our methods. Then we can able to work with our objects. Okay, so that is possible in terms of object. But where data type where data type it is not possible to pass the values as a parameter. Okay, and again dynamic will work to pass the parameter. See, if I want to pass the parameter like this, I can able to pass with the object type and I can able to pass with the dynamic type, but it is not possible with the var type. Okay, so let me simply
Yep.
repeat one more time with the exam with the differences. So this is the kind of important question, Muzaffar. Try to understand the concept. So here the concept which we are talking about is differences between the var keyword, object keyword, and dynamic keyword. So the first difference what we are trying to explain here is that object was introduced in C Sharp 1.0 and var was introduced in C Sharp 3.0 and dynamic was introduced with C Sharp 4.0. And other difference what we are seeing here is if I declare the object data type, it's our wish whether we want to provide the default values to our object variable or not. And later point of time, we can able to assign the value. But in terms of var keyword, it is mandatory to pass the value at the time of declaration itself. Okay, so
Yes.
that is the another difference. And third difference what I'm trying to explain here is if I take the object keyword or if I take the dynamic keyword, I cannot get the IntelliSense support in our C sharp, in our Visual Studio. So Visual Studio will not provide any kind of IntelliSense support for the dynamic and object keywords. But if I take the where keywords, I can get the IntelliSense support. So I can see what are the methods are available, and even if I done any kind of smaller mistakes in my program, in compile time itself, I can understand that issues here.
Yeah.
So in compile time itself, I can understand the issues. Okay, so that is the another difference. Okay, and the fourth difference what I'm trying to explain here is so if I have a method, I want to pass the object as a parameter, that is possible with the object keyword, and at the same time if I want to pass a dynamic parameter for my method, it is possible, but where is not possible to pass as a parameter. Where is not possible to pass a parameter. Okay. So did you understand, Muzaffar?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So can you please try to help me?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, can you please try to help me how you understand this particular differences?
The first one is madam, the object was introduced in C Sharp in version 1.0 and var was introduced in 3.0 and dynamic was introduced in 4.0.
Okay.
When it comes to declaration point,
Yes.
object we can able to store the value. It's up to our it's up to us to assign the value or not
And
to
later,
assign. Whereas
later point of time also we can assign the value.
we can assign. Whereas for where keyword we need to compulsory assign the value,
At the
and
time of
for
declaration.
dynamic at
At
the
the time
time of
of
declaration.
declaration itself, we need to assign the value. If not,
To
it will
assign the
give
value.
the error. Okay.
Error.
But
And
dynamic,
for
it is possible to it's up to developer decision whether you want
us
to
to assign the value.
correct. Yeah. Third one.
So, yes. The
Third one is
third one is for in this one object val 4 and val 5 we have given,
yeah,
and in for var keyword we are having a lot of methods
yeah.
provided by Visual Studio, whereas for object and dynamic we have very less methods.
Yes, yes. So basically, what we can categorize this difference is intelligence support. Okay.
Intelligence.
Intelligence support. Basically, if I use the var keyword or if I use the dynamic keyword, or if I use the if I use the dynamic keyword object keyword, it will not provide that kind of intelligence support in the Visual Studio. But if I use the var keyword, we do have the intelligence support. At the same time, if I have some kind of like syntactical errors or some kind of mistakes, some kind of smaller mistakes, I can identify in the declaration. It's in the time of compilation itself. I can able to identify.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
And
third one,
fourth one,
the fourth one is we can able to pass the parameters for the object and the dynamic, but for
yes,
where it is not supported in C
correct,
sharp.
correct. If you see here, if I want to try to pass the value, so it's giving an error, right?
Yes.
But dynamic, we don't have that kind of error, and object also it is possible to pass the values or return the values. So this is the another so important concept in C Sharp.net. So I hope you
Yes.
understand, right?
Yes. Yes. Ma'am.
Okay, and this is the time to move with the very important concept in C Sharp, which is called as link queue. LINQ, link queue.
Mhm.
Okay, for link queue is language integrated query. Language integrated query.
Okay.
Language integrated query. Okay, so
Okay.
language integrated query. So what does it mean? Let's see what is that language integrated query. So query means question, right? Means like
Yes.
so query means question, or it's a kind of program in terms of SQL.
Yes.
So if I have a SQL, so we do have the SQL types like PL SQL is there, TSQL is there. So like that we have the SQL programming is there. Okay, so in SQL programming, if I have a table, I can write some kind of query to retrieve the value from my table, or I can write some kind of query to insert the values to my table, or I can write some kind of query to update the values to my table. Okay, or I have if I have a table, if I want to delete some rows from my table, I can write the query. So those are the queries which we usually call. Okay, so let me repeat again. What is the language integrated query? So the query, basically we are using this query in terms of SQL. Okay, structured query language. So which is used to interact with the database. Okay, so any
Yes.
application, if I take the any kind of dynamic application, so that need to have a database to store the information. Okay, so database is nothing but a
Yep.
storing the information, like it's a place where we can store the information. Okay, so even we can treat Excel as a database, right? So where we can store any kind of information, like if I want to store the student information, I can able to store it. If I want to store my employee information, I can able to store it right here.
Yep.
Okay, so that kind of like if I prepare one kind of system or place where I can store my entire information, that will be called as a database. Okay, so if I have a database, to retrieve the values from my database or to insert the values to my database table or to perform some operations with the database tables or database objects, we are using one query language to interact with the database. That query language is called as SQL, structured query language. Okay, structured query language. So let me repeat it. Let me repeat again. So basically, where we are talking about this query is in terms of database. Okay, database is nothing but it's a system where we can store our information simply. So it's a system where we can store our information, and whenever we need, we can retrieve it back. So that is the purpose of a database. So if I have a database, to perform some operation with my database, I can use the one query language which can be used to interact with the database. That query language is called as a structured query language. That query language is called as structured query language. Have you understand?
Okay.
Okay. So
But I understood, Madan bhai, that for a database for retrieving queries through C Sharp, we are using LinkQ.
no, I haven't explained that yet. Let me first explain what is the structured query language. Okay.
Yes.
Then I will explain this link you. Okay. So
Okay.
first what I'm trying to explain you is query. Let's
Yes.
for now forget about here we have the three terms: language integrated query, right? For now
Yes.
forget about language integrated. So let's talk about only query. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the query? That means it's a question or it's a term where we can use the while interacting with the database. It's a term where we are using to interact with the database. Okay. So now let me explain what is the database. Database is nothing but it's a system where we can store or retrieve our information. Okay, where we can store or retrieve our information. So in order to store the information, in order to retrieve the information, or in order to update the information, I need a language. Okay, I need a language to perform those operations. That language is called as a structured query
Yes.
language. That language is
Okay.
called as structured query language. We can call it as
Yes.
SQL. Okay, so basically SQL is used to interact with the database. Okay, to
Yes.
perform any kind of operation. Okay, that is the purpose of
Yep.
a SQL, structured query language.
Query.
Okay, so this part you are clear, right?
Yes,
So
Madan. Yes.
you know the database. Now I gave the example
Yes.
for database, and at the same time I told you the importance of SQL.
Yes.
Okay, now this is the time to learn the concept of link queue. Okay, so basically
Yes.
till now what I told, we have a database. To interact with the database we need a structured query language to perform any kind of operation. Okay,
Operations.
so what is this link queue is previously, in order to perform any kind of operation with the database, I only have one option which is called as SQL, structured query language. With the structured query language only, I can perform any kind of operation. Okay. So later point of time, so this C sharp team got introduced one concept which is called as language integrated query to interact with the database, to interact with the database to perform some operations. Previously we do have
Yep.
only one option, right?
Yeah.
Which is that? What is that?
Just
SQL.
SQL query language.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we do have only one query language which is called as SQL. Okay. Later
Yes.
point of time, what C Sharp team does is they got introduced one more concept in C Sharp, which is called as language integrated query to perform the to write the queries in C Sharp language itself. To write the queries in C Sharp language itself. Basic, basically, where we are writing the query in SQL. In database, we are writing the query. So C Sharp team provide the ability to perform that kind of query, to perform or write such kind of query languages in our C Sharp itself. That is the importance of link query. So did you understand now the concept of link queue?
Yes, Madam. Before we developer used to write the queries in SQL only.
Yes.
Now we are having a concept of link queue. Through link queue, we can write the queries of database in C Sharp itself.
Yes, in C sharp. That's the fundamental thing. So if you understand the fundamental thing, writing the queries is easy, Muzaffar. That concept only we need to understand, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
that's
I will
why,
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Muzaffar.
If you want me to repeat once again, if I am clear with this fundamental concept,
Yeah, yeah.
I will repeat one more time. We
Correct.
are you before SQL is a structured query language,
Hmm.
and database is a place to store the information and retrieve the information,
Yes.
and SQL is a language to retrieve the information and store the information.
Yes, correct.
Whereas earlier developer used to write the queries for database in SQL.
Yes.
Now C Sharp developers use link queue concept in order to write the queries
Yes, correct.
in C Sharp itself for
Yes, yes,
database.
correct. So we can simplify that. So how we can how we can say it, link you provide an ability to write the SQL queries in C sharp itself. Link you
Yes, madam.
provides an ability to write the SQL code in C sharp language itself. That is called as language integrated query. Okay.
Yes,
So
madam.
so that's why I first started with the database, and after that I explain you the what is the SQL. Then I explain you the fundamental concept of link queue. So now we can understand the concept here. Okay.
Yes,
So
link queue provides the just now we you repeated something, madam.
yeah,
Link queue
link queue
provides
provides
the
the ability. Link
provides
queue
as the
provides
ability.
ability to write the SQL program in C sharp itself. To write the SQL query in C sharp itself. That is called as a link queue.
Okay, madam. I got it.
Okay. So now let's see one by one example of link queue so that we can easily understand. Okay. So assume that this is the database table with the values like this. This is a database table where I have the numbers which I stored like this. So I'm not directly I'm not directly explain the concept of link you with the database here to interact with the database. Instead of I'm taking one kind of array examples to explain the concept. But like once we move to the ASP.NET or once we started with the development of any kind of application, at the time you can have some kind of knowledge with the SQL server, so that so that in later point of time that is easy for me to explain the concept of link you with the SQL database itself. So for
Okay.
now, what I'm trying to explain is the concept I'm trying to explain to you. and later point of time I can replace this array with the database values.
Okay.
Okay. For now, just understand the concept of link queue query, how we are writing the link queue query. Here, my intention is I have a array where I have stored these many numbers. So it's an integer array where I stored these kind of numbers. Okay. So our I'm going to use the var keyword, and my var keyword variable name is low numbers. Okay. And I'm writing one simple query, SQL query in our C Sharp like this. So my intention is I want to get the all values from the numbers array. In order to write the query, link query in C Sharp, we need to start with the from keyword. We need to start with the from keyword and the variable name and the in keyword, and from where we need to get the values that we need to refer.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
it's similar to this one, right? Where x in, right?
Yes.
From variable name, in keyword, and from the collection name. Here our collection is array. Here our collection name is array here, right?
Yes.
So how we can write
Yes.
our link query is the syntax of link query will always start with the from keyword. From keyword and the variable name, in keyword and the collection name. From keyword, variable name, in keyword, collection name.
Collection.
Okay, and select keyword and the variable name. Select keyword
Yes.
and the variable name.
But Madan, in this here, what is variable name n?
N is just variable
N
name.
is like,
It's
okay,
it,
we declare n.
we can create any one whatever we want, x like ABC, whatever we want, we can able to do it. For our example,
Okay.
I just took it as a N.
Okay. No.
Okay. So basically, how we can write the link query is link query need to start from the from keyword. Link query need to start from the from keyword, and it has the variable name, and it has the in keyword, and it has the collection name. Okay, and after that we need to use the select keyword and the variable name. Select keyword from the variable name. So what is the purpose of writing this query is to get the all the values from our array. So I'm getting the all my values from my array, and I'm storing all my values into my variable name, which is the low numbers. Okay, so
Yes.
here the low numbers I am writing here. So from n is the variable name and in is the keyword. This is the collection name. Select n. Okay. So now if I write the for each loop for my low numbers, I can print all my values. Okay. So that's how
Yes.
we can work with the link query. Link query always start with the from keyword, and it has the variable name, it has the in keyword, and it has the collection name, and it has the select keyword, and it has the variable name. That's what we need to
Okay.
remember here.
Okay.
Okay.
But
So
for leaf is our same thing, item in collection.
yes, yes,
Yes.
correct. It's also similar
Yes.
here. Instead of here, instead of variable name, we are just replacing with this from n in numbers, select n. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is how link query will work. So let's write the one more example here. So here the example is link query with the where condition. Link query with the where condition.
Okay. We can.
Okay. So here I have the array. Okay. So my intention is
Yeah.
from this array I want to get the numbers which are less than 5. So my intention is
Okay.
that I have a, assume that I have a table. Okay. In my table, list of values are there. Okay. My intention is I want to
Okay.
retrieve the values who are less than 5. Which elements are less
Okay.
than 5. Okay. Then how we can write is again always link query will start from the will start with the from keyword, and it has the variable name, it has the in keyword, and it has the collection name, and previously we just used the select n. Now we are writing one condition. So to write the condition in link query, we are using one keyword which is called as where keyword. To represent the condition in our link query, we are using one keyword which is called as where keyword. Okay.
Yeah.
And here I am writing the condition where n less than 5. Okay. Now where like whatever the values which satisfy this condition, those will be stored into our low numbers value, low numbers variable name, right? So what we are
Yes.
doing is we are writing one simple query in our C# language to get the numbers which are less than 5. To get the numbers which are less than 5. Okay.
Yes.
Did you understand, Muzaffar? So the intention
Yes.
is I have a list of array elements. My intention is uh, my intention is to retrieve the values from my particular collection who is like which numbers are less than 5. So how we can write that
Yes.
in our link query is previously we write the query simple query which returns all the values, right? Now we are
Yes.
adding one more condition for my link query. So how we are adding the condition for our link query here is with this where condition. Okay, where
Where
is
any?
the keyword which represent the condition? Where is the keyword which represent the condition? And n less than 5, the condition we are giving n less than 5. Okay. Now
Yes.
try to execute this program and see. So we got the numbers. Even though my array having the 9, 8, 6, 7, I can only see the 4, 1, 3, 2, 0, which are less than 5, right?
Yes.
So how we can achieve that?
By using a condition where
Yes.
condition.
So by using the where condition, we are writing this query. So as we already discussed in previous, like in before introducing the concept of link queue, if I want to filter the data in my C sharp, it was not possible. Okay. So
Yes.
I want where I want to filter that one in SQL only. I need to filter that data, and I need to pass that data to the C sharp program to display the information. Now things are not like that. Once I get the information, I can filter and I can do any operation in even in C sharp as well.
Yes.
Okay. So that's the concept of link queue with the where condition. Okay. So let's see
Madan bhai,
the
for can we use for each n in low num, can we write down like this?
for what is that?
For each where x in low nums,
Mm-hmm.
in the for each condition,
Okay.
can we write down where n here?
Here how we can do that, if you want to, if you don't want to do this on the top, you need to get the
No, no,
all the
no.
numbers here. Okay. So how you can give is you can give the all the numbers here, and here you can write one if condition to check whether it is less than 5 or not. If it is less than 5, then only you can print the value. Instead of doing
Okay.
that, what we have done is here itself we filter all the values, and we are directly using the for each loop to print our output.
Okay.
So this is the link query with the
So
where
this is the
condition.
where condition.
Okay. So what is this? Select menu. Yeah. So select. We have one more concept which is called as select menu. Let's see how it will work. Okay. So we have a two arrays here. One is a numbers A array and numbers B array. So here we are writing one link query which is getting the values from the A array and another from query which is getting the values from the B array. Here I am writing one where condition A less than B means it will compare all the values with this B values, and if it is less
Okay.
then only it will provide. Instead of select A here, now I am select the A and B value. Two types of values I am selecting. Previously what we did, we just write the select n, right?
And select any kind of number.
Yes. Here I am writing one object here. Select new a comma b means two values I am going to return.
Yes.
Two values I am going to return here. So if we use
Okay.
such kind of query, that we will call it as select many. If you use this kind of query, we will call that as a select many. So let me repeat again. We have a integer array which is numbers A, and we have a integer array which is numbers B. Okay, integer array, integer B, which are numbers, integer arrays which is numbers A and numbers B, and we have a we are writing one link query to get the values from A and at the same time get the values from B, and we are writing one condition A less than B. Okay, now we are writing that select new A comma B. Select new A comma B, right? So if you write,
Yes.
I can get the values from A array and I can get the values from B array. Okay, so this is the importance of the select menu. For two arrays I can get the values. Let's see how we can have the values here. So 0 is less than 1, 0 is less than 3. Okay, so these all values 0, 2, all values is repeating here. What is the less than b? 0 is less than 1, 0 is less than 3, and 0 is less than 5, 0 is less than 7, and 0 is less than 8. Okay, like that it is repeating all the words here. Okay, so this is how we can work with the select many option. Let's see another example here. Okay, so link you with okay, link, yes. So link you with take example. So it's a kind of good example here. Let's link you with the take example. Okay. So
So
here,
when we are developing an application or when we are storing any values in SQL, uh, in place of this arrays, we will be replacing
correct.
SQL query.
Yes, yes. In array, instead of this array, we will replace this kind of code with the SQL table.
Yes, but
SQL,
this select
those are
with
same
many
only.
take will be same.
Those are will be the same, but but the array only will replace with the database. This array only will replace with the database, and these values here I just hard coded. Basically, those will come from the database. The data set will come from the database. The rest of the operation we can do in our C#. That is called as a link queue.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yes.
that is how it works. Here, the next example what we are taking here is the concept of take. the concept of take. Okay, let's see how it is working. I have a array which is numbers which contains these kind of elements. Okay, now my intention is I want to take only 3 elements from my array. Okay, so for that what we need to write, so previously we can write one query with the link query saying that from the variable name in that collection or where condition we can write it. Okay, instead of doing that, our link query provide one ability, or it provide one method which is called as take. If you mention one integer value in that particular take method, that many numbers it can return from the collection. That many numbers it can return from the collection. So here we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 elements. So I have an array which is having the 10 elements. I want to retrieve only 3 elements from that array. Okay, so how we can write that one? So we have one method which is called as take method. If you mention the integer value in that particular take method, that many members we can able to retrieve. Okay, so let's try to execute this program. So how many members we got? Here I
First
have
starting 3 members.
3 members. So like why we only got 3 members here?
We
We passed the
mentioned
in our
yeah
take method we pass only 3. So let's make
three
it
integers.
5. Like make it 5. Then if I try to execute our program, how many values I got? 5 values.
5 value.
Okay. So this is the use of this take method. So basically how this take method will work is the take method will provide the ability to specify the how many values you want to retrieve from your collection. Okay, so that is called as a link query. So I forget to explain one important thing while working with this link queue is on top we need to use this system.linkqueue namespace in order to work with the link queue queries.
Okay.
In order to work with the link queue queries, we need to use one namespace which is called as system.linkqueue. Okay,
Yes.
so system.linkqueue is the namespace which can be helpful to write the queries in our C# language. So if I remove that one, I can't write my link queries in C# language. Okay,
Yes.
so that is the use of the system.link. And what is the use of this take method? Take method will help us to retrieve the specified number of elements from the collection. Okay, so that is the
Yes.
use of this take method. Let's see another
Yeah.
example. Okay, link queue with take while. Link queue with take while.
Yes.
Okay, link queue with take while. So how it will work here is so take method we can write we can mention the integer number that will return that many numbers from the array. So if I want to retrieve the elements from my array with the condition, I want to retrieve the elements from my array, then what I can do is I can write one method which is called as take while n less than 6. Means less than 6 elements if I want to get, instead of writing the like from n in that particular array and where n less than or n less than 6 like that, I can use this method itself, which is called as take while n, and this symbol we can use, and after that n less than 6. So if I mention the condition like this, my query will retrieve only values which are less than the 6. My query will retrieve only values which are less than 6. My query will retrieve the values which are less than 6. Okay. So this is the importance of take while. So let's try to execute this one. Take while. Okay. So first numbers less than 6. 5, 4, 1, 3 are less than numbers in that given array. So that's how we can write we can use our take while. Okay. Let's see another example. Link you with skip method. Link you with skip method. This is the reverse of take method. Skip means it will skip that many numbers. Okay. Link you with skip. Skip method. Skip is a method in link you method which will take the integer value and it will skip that many numbers from your collection. Okay, so let's see how it will work. Okay, so basically my array having the 5 4 1 3 1 3 9 8 6 7 2 0. If I see my output will start from the 9 9 8 6 7 2 0. So why it started like that? So we use the skip method along with this 4 as the integer value, and that many numbers it is skipping from the array. Okay, so it is skip 5 4 1 3, and later that elements like 9 8 6 7 2 0, those elements are displaying here. Those elements are displaying here. Okay, so that is the important of skip. Skip is the exactly like opposite function of take. Take will take that many numbers, whereas skip will skip that many numbers, and remaining array element it will print. Okay, so link queue with order by. So we can write our link queue with the order by as well. Like let's see how we can work with link queue with order by. Okay, so I have a string array which is the words which is the variable array string array name is words, where it has cherry, apple and blueberry, and I'm writing one a link queue query from w in words order by w, select w. So this order by w will help us to order your elements either in ascending or descending. Either in ascending or descending. If you haven't mentioned any kind of order here, if you mention just order by, if you haven't mentioned any kind of order here, either it is ascending or descending, by default it will take ascending order. By default it will take ascending order. So if we want to specify if we want to retrieve your values in the descending order, what you need to do is you need to use the keyword descending. You need to use the keyword descending. You need to use the keyword descending. So that is the importance of order by class. Order by ascend. If you haven't mentioned anything, by default it will take the ascending order. If you mention the order by with the descending, it will take the descending order. Let's see how it will work. So here we haven't mentioned any order here. That's why it is coming as apple, blueberry and cherry with the ascending order, and here we mentioned the descending order. That's why it is coming as 4.1, 2.9 and 2.3, 1.9 and 1.0. Okay, so this is how we can work with the link queue query with the order by here. So okay, so this is the important of link queue with
Order by.
order by. Okay, this is the important of ascending and descending order. Let's see the other example. So we do have the group by as well. So we do have a group by in our link queue queries. Let's see how we can use the group by. Okay, so here we have the element numbers, and here we are grouping the numbers which are divided by 5. Okay, which are divided by 5. The intention is we are grouping the all the numbers which are divided by 5. Okay, so then we can write this kind of link queue query by writing the group by n modulus 5 into g. Means we are storing all our group by values into the g, and with the select new option, reminder g dot key and number g. Like that we are writing. And if we start to execute our program, so if I reminder n divided by 5, so which one? So 5 divided by 5, which is 0, and 5 divided by 4, which is 4. That all remainder values we can able to see it here. So if we want to group that all remainder values, we can group with the particular value, and that can be useful for our program. So this is the use of group by class.
How is this working? Madam, one more thing.
So yeah, basically how it will work is here we are writing this from keyword and the
And
this n in numbers, and group n by n divided by 5 into g. That means
okay,
whatever the results we are coming, we are getting that we are storing in the into another variable which is called as g. From that it is grouping the values, and it is printing that g dot key, and g dot key value is going to store in the remainder, and g value is going to store in the numbers. From that numbers group, so numbers group in the sense which are divided by that particular element.
okay,
Okay, so which are divided by with that particular 5. So what are the elements which are divided by particular 5? Okay, so that 5 will divide it, and 9, if I divided by 5 with 5 by, sorry, 9 by 5, which will give the remainder as 4, which will this will give the remainder as 3, this will give the remainder as 1. Okay, this will
okay,
give the remainder as 2. These are not divided by, so we are not grouping that one. Okay,
okay,
so only which whatever the elements are divided by 5, then only those elements are grouping into the G, that remainder values and the numbers we are storing into the numbers group. In that numbers group, we are just taking the reminders. So 5 divided by 5, which is 0. 5 divided by 9, sorry, 9 divided by 5, which is 4. Okay,
yeah,
remainder is 4. That is the output which we are taking here. 0, 5, 5 divided by 5, which is dividable by the 5, which is 0. 5 not
yeah,
divided by 4, we are skipping these values. So again 5
yes,
can divided by can divide by 9 here, which is
9,
4. 8,
yes,
3, and 6, 1, and for the 7, 2. Those are only can be dividable, and we are grouping that all elements into one reminders variable, and that we are printing here. So that is how this grouping will work in our C# program. So that is one thing. And link you with distinct. Link you with distinct. So this is a very straightforward one. So here how we can work with this. Here we have the integer array which is having these kind of numbers. So I want to get the only distinct elements from that particular factors array. So what I can do is I can simply write one distinct method with this array. Then it can skip the these two here instead of two repeated twice here. Instead of the two repeating twice and five repeating twice, the output will be 2, 3, 5 distinct values. Okay, did you
Okay.
understand this, Muzaffar?
The
Basically my array
repeating numbers will be
eliminated. So whatever the repeating
yes.
numbers we have, 2 repeated two times, whereas 5 repeated 2 times. Okay, we can eliminate those by using this distinct method. Okay, so that is the example of distinct. Okay, so we do have the union method. So union means we can combine those two values. Let's see the example. We have the union which will help us to perform the union in between two collections. So numbers A, numbers B are two arrays. I'm going to take the union. Numbers A union of number B. Then all the elements from A and B will come as a one group here. 0, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 and 1, 3, 7 means this 5 is repeated in the both the array which is eliminated, and 8 is repeated in both the array which is eliminated, right?
Yeah.
So I have a integer array which is having specified numbers. At the same time we have the integer array which is having the specified numbers. We are writing union between those two arrays. Okay, array
Yeah.
A union of array B. Okay, then
Okay.
whatever the repeated elements that will give only one, that will come only one time. So 0 is not repeated in between those two arrays, it will come. If you see 5 is having here and here, it will come only once, it will not come twice here. Okay, what union will do is it combine the both the arrays with the distinct method. It will
Okay.
combine
By
the,
deleting the
yes, repeated values.
okay.
Okay, so my output, if I run this one, this is my output. So I can able to see the 5, but it is not repeating twice. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the importance of this particular integer, sorry, particular union method. Okay, so let's see what is the other thing we have. Okay, so other thing what we have is intersect. So link you with intersects. So link you with intersect. So let's see how link you will work here. Link you with intersect. So intersect means common values. Let's see. So number array and intersect number B. Okay. If I try to execute, so what are the elements are common in between these two array? 5 is common in A and B. That 5 come here, and 8 also common in between these two array. So 8 also coming here. So intersect will get the common elements between the two arrays. Intersect will get the common elements between the two arrays. Okay. So and except. Another example what we have is except. Another example what we have is except. So it will give the So whatever the element here we have, so that is not in the second. So number except number B, numbers A dot except number B. So numbers in first array which are not in the second. So the numbers which are in first array which are not in the second array. So here 5 there in between, here in between two arrays. 8 also there in between two arrays. 7 not there, 1 not there. So whatever the elements are not there in the particular second array, those will be come here. Okay. So numbers in first array but not in the second array. So which is called as what we can say except. So except method will help us to get the elements what are available here which are not available in the second array. So that's where we can use this except method. That's where we can use this except method. Okay, so we have a first keyword which will use the which will help to get the first element from the particular array. So this is the use. If I use this strings dot first, it will give the 0 element. So it's a straightforward one, we can easily understand. And first start default, it will also work in the same fashion. First start defaults means if your arrays are null, it will not giving any error, but in case if you use the only first method, it will give an error. But if I use the numbers dot first dot default, if your collection is empty, it will not give any errors. So that's the only difference between the first or first defaults. First or default will give the first element only, whereas first will give the error if your collection is empty. When if you use the first or default element, even though your collection is empty, it will not giving any error. Okay, that's the use of first or default. So we do have link with all method where it can get the all elements between the between the mentioned condition. So what we can see is so let's try with this example, we can understand. So previously we gone through one example which is called as a take while. Okay, so this is also similar to that particular example, but how it will work is numbers all with the given specified condition. Numbers dot all with the given specified condition. So the list contains only odd number values. Whoever the whatever the condition is meeting our criteria, that numbers only it has. It's a similarly work with the take while. Okay, take while also we have an option to provide the condition. Similarly, this all method also will have a ability to provide the condition. Okay, so that is how this particular all method will work. Link you with count, we know this also will have the count value. So link you that particular factors dot count or factors dot distinct dot count, which will provide the count element. So we already seen this example in our previous section as well. So and sum, so we already seen this example as well. So for example, if I have the number, if I want to get the sum of all my elements, what I can do is simply numbers dot sum, which will give the sum of my all elements. Okay, so this is a minimum, maximum, average. Those are all methods what we have. So if I have the numbers dot minimum, which will give the minimum value, numbers dot maximum, which will give the maximum value, numbers dot average, which will give the average value. Those are the useful methods which are available in our link query. Okay.
Yes.
So we have a join method, so where we can join the multiple classes as well. So we have a join method. Let's see this example, we can close it. Join method is where if we have the two classes, if we want to join or if I have a two arrays, or if I have the two tables, if I want to get the elements from the first table and the second table, by joining the both the tables, then we can use this join operation. So here we have the class product, and here we have the class category, and here I'm writing one program which is called as we have a I'm just inserting the values to my category class. So for the category class, how we are inserting the value is I'm creating the object with the name beverages, ID is this one, and similarly like this I'm inserting the values to my category class. And at the same time for the product class also we are going to insert the values. If you see here for the product class also we have the category ID, and at the same time category class also we have the ID. So these two are common in between product class and the category class. So what we are doing here is we are doing one we are writing one link query by joining the category class with the product class with the category ID as a common value, with the category ID as a common value. So wherever we have the common value between the category and the product class, those values only will come here. Let's see how it is. So 001 we have, and 001 we have, 002 we have, 002 we have, 3 we have, 3 we have. Here 4 we have, 4 we don't have here. But 5 here and here we have. So if I write the join here, whatever the elements are common in between the product class and the category class, those elements will come here. So that is the purpose of join. Join means combining the two table information or two classes information based on the condition. What condition we are giving? Category ID equal product dot category ID. So we are giving that category class of category ID equal to the product class of category ID. Then whatever the elements are common, those only will come into the picture. So let's try to execute this one. If you see here, we apply the join here. Here cola, tea, mustard, pickle, carrot, bag oil, patches and melon are available here. So is it getting the this grains here? Grains we haven't getting, because that 4 is not available here. That 4 is not available here. That's why we are not able to get this grains element. Okay, so that's
Okay.
how it will work. Let me repeat again. So I have a product class where I have a name and category ID. So here in the here inside the category also we have the array, same name we are going to use in the product class as well. So we are applying the join condition from, okay, and here we are using the join with the product class. We are joining the category class with the product class. So on what basis we are joining? Category ID basis of category, product dot category ID. That base only we are joining the values. Okay, so how it is compared? The 001 available here and here, which will match. 002 available here and here, which will match. 3 available here and here. 4 not available here and here, which are not going to map. And here we have the 005, which will available here. So that's why we are able to get those elements. Okay, so that is how we can able to work with the this link queries with the joins. Link queries with the joins. Join is nothing but the combining the two classes or two tables into one result set. Okay, so that is the use of link queries. So these are all example which I clearly mentioned in the like in our website as well. So go through the one by one what are the functions are available and whatever the methods are available with the link queue, so that you can easily understand.
Okay, man.
So this is all for today's session, Muzaffar.